people, hello, it's Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. I'm here today with project number one from Bargain Bead Box, August 2023 Woodland Whimsy subscription. This is the first project video of the mini-series. So if you are new here, welcome in. If you are not new here, welcome back. And if you are a member, thank you so much for all of your support. We appreciate you. We're going to jump right into project number one. This is a bracelet that I have going on. Here is the little drawing we made. You can see all of these drawings in the planning video if you have not seen it. So let's get down to the mat, get this party started. Alrighty, party people, here we are on the mat, project number one. So this is our bracelet that we're going to be making. Here's the beads that I have pulled from the box. It says we need C-lon cording, which I had already previously picked up for this, and beading wire, crimp circle spacers, glue, and a tweezer. Okay, here's a tweezer. We are going to need beading wire, some kind. Does it say what kind? I have silver. Let's try that. I got silver and glue. Well, I realized this morning during the morning coffee that I'm very low on the Loctite, so we're going to try to utilize just regular old super glue today. Just regular old super glue. We'll see if she's working. Tweezer, glue, bead wires, bead wire, C-lon. Okay, so I think we're ready to rock. I think we are ready to rock. Let's take a look again at our design. So, okay, I'm going to start with the connector in the middle and go this way to create the end first. And then I will go the other way, starting with the button to connect onto here. Smash in, let's give her a whirl. Okay, so here are the beads that I have chosen for this project. We have one of the Unikite connectors. We have the whole strand of the druzies, the 10mm druzies. This is the whole strand. We have a few of these autumn jasper beads. This was just for science. We are going to redo this little guy. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves, a mushroom pendant, a button that I've added. That's what we got to work with. All right, well, first of all, let's start out by redoing this little guy. So I just did this to see if it would work out. I did it on wire. Now, you could do it on wire if you want to. It's completely up to you. However, I think I want to try to do a crimping. So I'm going to use this 7-strand bead wire from, I don't know, Walmart probably. So I think that every material, let's see if I can get in here, has its day in the sun, and this is kind of just one of those situations where we don't really need this to be super heavy or anything like that. We just need it to be together. So we're gonna go ahead and just use this Walmart wire, and I'm gonna get myself some crimp beads. You guys, this desk is absolutely crazy town today. I am going to use a 1.5 crimp tube just because I think the beads that I have are actually larger than that, and I want it to be as small as possible. So I'm just gonna start by putting on 5 beads. 3, 4, 5. All right, easy peasy. Easy peasy. So now I'm going to put on my crimp tube. Come here, crimp tube. It's so little. Get your little butt on there. There we go. Okay, so I got the crimp tube on one side. I'm going to go ahead and come back around with this other wire. Try not to drop everything. Perfect. I'm going to go through one bead, and I'm actually going to take this guy around in through one bead as well. And there we are. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to crimp this. Not feeling very comfortable, so I'm just going to flat crimp it. That's better. Alright, we're going to give this a snip, and we're going to give this a snip. Perfect. And then they're stuck together. Also stuck together. Everything is stuck together. There we go. Alright, so I've got a crimp cover now. You wouldn't necessarily have to put a crimp cover, but I mean, it's up to you, whatever you want to do. However you want to do it, it's up to you. Perfectly fine. And there we go. So there we are. And now we have this little spacer guy. So now let me refer again to the design so I can remember what I'm doing. Okay, we're going to start with the connector, and we're going to lark's head onto the connector and do our beading around to the tails. Okay, connector. And we are going with C-lon. Okay, so this is C-lon. This is 0.5 C-lon. You could use whatever type of cording you want, anything that'll fit in the beads. I think that this is going to be good. And I'm going to get a little bit here. That's probably too much. Back up a little bit. Alright, I got about 1.5 feet. That's more than we'll need. I'm going to marry up the ends. I'm going to go into the connector. And I'm going to attach it. Lark's head knot. So, create a loop. Bring the tails through the loop. Oop. I twisted it. So There we go. Pull it tight. Smashing. Smashing. Okay, now let's see if these beads are going to fit on there without me having to create any needles. So we are doing, I think it's two of the 10mm, and then yeah, I'm gonna have to do needles on here because I said I was gonna use spacer beads, right? Seed beads? No seed beads for this. I don't think there was seed beads for this. I don't think so. There is one. Yeah, they're not married up very good. I must have got wonky with my knot. That's fine. So we're going to go 1, 2, and then it's going to drive me crazy. One of the autumn jasper, and then 2 drusies, oh, I got 3 on there. That's not correct. 1 of the autumn jasper, yeah. This little guy's starting to fray out. Don't give up on me now, little guy. We just got a little smidge to go yet. Give him a little trim up. Seems to be the trouble. What seems to be the trouble here? We only got 3 beads to go. Sometimes when they get frayed out at the end, it can make it really problematic. Alright, there we go. So then we go this guy. Right. It's got 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. So that's 5. Correct. Okay. So if you needed more length here, you would want to just keep in mind that we do have to tie some knots and we have to make a button loop, which you can make additional button loops if you wanted. If you needed more bead length, you would just add more jaspers, right? Because we have a lot of jaspers, but these are all the drusies that we have. So I'm thinking this is going to be fine. So I'm going to make sure everything is good to go. I'm going to tie a knot right here. I'm going to go 1, again 2. I'm going to get my tweezer. I'm going to go in through the loop. grab a hold of the base wires right by the bead. I'm going to get the tails. I'm going to make sure this loop is on the tweezer as I start to pull it. And make sure that that is good and tight right there, and then I'm going to go above the knot, push and pull at the same time. Push with the tweezer, pull the strings up. Okay? Now everything is secure. So there you go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a little loop right here for my button. Now it doesn't have to be a very big, you know, hole, just enough to fit the button through. And I'm just going to do that by tying an overhand knot, only going one time. And I'm just kind of gauging this, like, you know, probably right here. So this length right here gives me a whole extra inch of length on the bracelet, right? Because this is where the button is going to attach. Now if you wanted to make it more sizes, you would just add another buttonhole. That is completely up to you. I will show you just so you know. So just tie another overhand knot, make it about the same length from this knot. And now you have two sizes, right? And you just got to be able to get that button through there. Easy peasy. Now on this end, we are going to add our leaf. And you know what? Let's do like this. Let's put them both in there. Because why not? Okay, another double-handed knot, or I'm sorry, overhanded knot. I am going to go twice because this leaf has a little bit of a bigger hole on him. This doesn't have to be up there super tight. It just needs to be, you know, kind of nearby. There we go. So now we can go ahead and take that off. We can take off more when we get done, but here is our one side of our bracelet. Okay, now we're going to switch gears and we're going to go the other way. So I'm just going to move this to the side. I'm going to go again with about 1.5 feet of the string, the C-lon. I'm going to marry up the ends. Now this time, instead of starting with the connector, we're going to start with the button. So I'm going to make a little loop-de-loop here, and this is a shank button. I'm going to attempt to squish this flat enough that it can go through the shank of the button and get through there, which it can. And again, I'm just going to lark's head knot it by creating a loop and bringing the tails through. Okay. Now for this button, I am going to do the lark's head knot, and then I'm going to put a knot on top of that. Okay, just to tie it off. There we go. So it should look like this. Boop. Okay. So now we're working backwards. So we're going to follow this pattern backwards, right? So we're going to need to get these married up and trimmed up so we can use them as needles. Perfect. We are going to go 1, and then an autumn jasper. Then 2 drusies. Now we got to refer to our design, because so we have 1 drusie, 1 autumn jasper, 2 drusies, autumn jasper, then in between here we are going to put our spacer. So we got to do an autumn jasper, and then 1 drusie, get in there, you. Okay, then we are going to put on this little circle that we made, and this is just going to act, there's my camera, this is just going to act as a spacer. So we're going to put that, we're going to go through just through the middle loop there, and then we put on our last drusie. I just like this as like a little second focal. It's pretty cute. So you're going to want to push those in so that it holds it in place like that, right? Okay, then we are going to go ahead and tie a knot right here, just as we did down the other side. And I'm going to go 1, 2. And so this knot is to make sure that our beads stay in place. Now we don't need our beads to be super tight because it is a bracelet. We need them to move. So I'm going to leave about 1.5 millimeters of space before I get to the bead. Maybe 2, right? Let's go up just a smidge. Nothing crazy. And we're going to pull it down just like we did before. Take the tweezer, push and pull at the same time. I'm going to lock that into place by pushing this bead over, and we want this to be able to move because it is a bracelet, right? It's going to have to make a wrist type shape. Now we're going to go ahead and bring this over here, and now however you want to do this knotting is completely up to you. I am going to make sure that I have everything facing the same way here. So I'm just going to go ahead and go in, and what I'm going to do, because we're going to leave these tails on anyway, so I'm not worried about it, I'm just going to do a knot right here. 1, 2. I'm going to bring the tweezer in through the loop, and I'm going to go under this knot that we've already created. Okay. So I'm going to pull it. Make sure you're pulling it evenly so there's no extra space. And then away. Push it down. Okay. Pretty good out of 10. Then I'm going to go in here with both tails and I'm going to do a half hitch knot so that the tails are both, little slack there, half hitch knot so that the tails are both facing down. So now see they're coming down, they're not all like perfect. So now right here I'm going to take and I'm not going to worry about this because see we're going to put this mushroom on there. Ain't nobody going to worry about that knot. Okay, so we're just going to put our leaves on. I'm going to take 1 strand this time and I'm going to put a leaf And I'm gonna go 1, 2, and I'm gonna let this dangle a bit because we are gonna have our mushroom. So I don't want them necessarily like clanking into each other. Let's see if that's enough to keep that bad boy on there. Yeah, looks pretty good. We're gonna hit that with a little glue, so I'm not worried. And then here I'm going to put 2 leaves, and I am going to put them, I'm gonna put this one on this way, and then I'm gonna put this one on the opposite way, so that when they're hanging, they look like this, just for fun. And I'm gonna tie another knot, 1, 2, bring that in, and then I don't want it too close, so I'm gonna I want it tapered, but not too much. That one is not enough knot to hold on to this guy, so we're going to go again. 1, 2. Now I'm going to use, oh, that was 1, 2. So I'm going to use my tweezer because when you're doing double knot, it's always good to hold right on, go through the loop, and hold right on over the top of the loop or underneath the knot that you've already done, because that is helpful in getting it in the right place to do the double knotting. So I'm going underneath, pull that out, push that down, pull this guy down a little bit to lock him into place, and now we have our leaves. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to just do some trimming. Now this is not the end all be all of trimming, careful where you're trimming, but for now I just want that out of the way. And then the only thing left to do here is to take our mushroom, so I'm going to open him up. Let's see, here he is. Okay, and then I'm going to bring him and I'm going to put him on top of this business here. So I'm going to try to put him on top of the link to see if he'll hang down correctly. Not in love with it. I'm going to move him to the bottom. Hold on. I know you're like, why do you keep flipping it? Because I want this side to be the front. So I'm trying to figure out what all I got going on here. Where is this coming out of? Oh, looks like I did it that way. Well, that's fine. We'll just go over here. So now I'm just going to attach on to the bottom. Drop it. Make sure it's durable. Don't lose your jump ring though. Close that bad boy up. Alright, yes. Now we're talking. You look so cute. So now this is all on this side, which is fine by me. I had tied one of the sides onto the wrong. See how this one, the Unikite, has the orange and the other side has just plain, and I wanted the front to be this side, but I wasn't paying attention. So FYI on that. Might want to pay attention. Alrighty. So here we are. Looking pretty good, I must say. Now, what we're gonna, the only thing left to do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hit this with a little bit of glue. Now, this is not Loctite like I used to use. Let me make sure. Oh yeah, she's working. Okay, so we're just gonna put, literally, when you're using this liquidy glue, you literally just a smidge. Just a smidge. Don't be even thinking about getting crazy with it, because it is crazy town, this liquid glue. I'm gonna put one here. Boop. Yeah, see, there it is. Crazy town. I'm gonna put one here and here, and that's all that I'm gonna do for that. I'm gonna let it dry, and then once it's dry, it'll be ready to go. So I'm gonna give it a little hot second. But yeah, I'm very happy with how it turned out. This is the design. Ooh. Here's the design versus the finished product. Okay. So we had as an afterthought we had added the mushroom here. So the mushroom is not on the actual diagram, but I think it turned out pretty smashing myself. Super cute. I do enjoy making these bracelets. I think it's pretty well tried. I do enjoy making these type of bracelets, because there you go. That's what she's going to look like. It's got all the dangly bits. It's still a little smidgy sticky. It's kind of got the double focal, gives it a little bit of interest, you know, all that going on. Button bracelet, super easy to put on yourself. So I do like to make these, and it doesn't take that much beads, you know. So we had a little vote, and I had said, oh, well, what kind of stuff do you want to see? And people said, oh, maybe stuff that's easy, stuff that's easy to sell, but maybe not, you know, so much beads, or not so design heavy. This is not design heavy. You could make a whole bunch of these. You could use any kind of larger beads that you want. So this is a 10 and a 6. You don't have to use that. You could use a 10 and an 8. You could use all 10s. You wouldn't have to do this over here. You can make this out of crystals. You could have just a focal bead instead of a connector. The connector portion is the reason I had to do it this way, like go one way and then go the other way, just because I want to use lark's head knots, and I wanted my knotting to show up in a certain place. That's the only reason for that. If you had not a connector but just a bead, you could just do the whole thing in one shot, which would be significantly easier. So I hope you're all enjoying these videos. If you are, please like, subscribe, consider becoming a member to support me at Thunderhorse Descendant. It's $9.99 a month, and you get first look at all the videos that I'm putting out, and one members only live on Wednesday, where we talk about bead history and symbolism and all kinds of different things. Our research team, that's our research team. Me. It's me researching. It's really fun. I also invite you guys to come over to the Facebook group. We'd love to have you. We've got great people over there. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.